welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara and I've got to deal with Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen Fluminense? Has anyone seen Thiago Silva? Bit harsh, that.
Chelsea and Over Albion are just a days away from maybe becoming world champions. They breezed past Fluminense tonight, live on talkSPORT. How good are they? They spent billions. Do we need to start looking at them as title challengers? Do they have to go and win something now? Troy Deeney will join us live from New Jersey just to tell us how good João Pedro is. And we'll also talk about Elanga. He's on the move. Luis Diaz could be on his way as well. Loads to talk about. But we'll start with Chelsea. We've got to do it. Chelsea have got to a final. Can't believe it. 03 717 22 3344.
for Chelsea. Get in, Jay.
You know what, right? Cannot be bothered with this show.
Yeah, you can.
I cannot be bothered. It feels like it's still the off-season, right? For me, I've got my feet up, my sombreros are out, you know, the cigars are out. I'm relaxing, waiting for pre-season to start. You know, Spurs have got the Europa Super Cup on the 13th of August. Then I'll be back.
Yeah.
But to have to do a show about Chelsea in July,
weird, isn't it?
It just
Weird.
It just feels boring.
Well, it's what we do, matey. It's what we do, isn't it? We enter a competition, we get to the final. Not like you lot, just turn up once every 50 years, rock up.
I mean, listen, European champions, right?
Big champions.
European. If we, you know what's really going to be annoying, right? That I had over you this season, right? Because you won the Conference Cup, but I had over you the fact that Spurs have won the Europa League.
Yep.
If you become world champions, I am not going to hear the end of it. It is going to be unbearable.
Well, look, we're in the final. We're giving ourselves a chance. I did not. Look, going into the tournament, in all honesty, there is no way I thought we'd get to the final. I just didn't see it. I just couldn't see a world in which we were going to get past all those great sides, right? There's still two more, and one we're going to have to face in the final. We'll be underdogs, no doubt about that. But just to be in the final, mate, in the inaugural World Club, I mean, it's quite remarkable, actually. Quite remarkable. So well done. Very proud of the boys.
You've had an easy route, and let's be honest.
It could have been harder.
It's like another Conference League route.
It could have been harder. There's no doubt about it.
But played any big dogs.
It could have been harder. But look, I thought Fluminense. I thought they were poor tonight, mate. I thought they were really poor. I thought they were dreadful. We played Benfica, knocked them out, and we played Palmeiras the other day. Those two sides are better than what we played tonight. I promise you that. They were poor. But you got to beat what's in front of you. We've done it convincingly. We're looking good. João Pedro is added something different up top for us. We weren't really stretched defensively. Sanchez is still a little bit of a moment. Still get that. But look, what can you do? You got the final. Go and win it now. That's what I want to do. Go and win it.
I mean,
well,
I don't even know
up
where.
The Chelsea, Jay. Up the Chelsea.
I don't even know where to go. Like, it's painful. It's actually painful having to talk about Chelsea in July. Like, help me out, people. Chelsea fans, come on and just, you can talk to your mate Cundy, because really and truthfully, here's a question for you, right?
Go on, mate.
Do you think you should win? Do you think you should challenge next season for the Premier League?
I think that there has to be a point where we. I mean, I heard we got the quotes from what Gab said the other day.
Well, we're gonna
play that a second. He makes I think some fair points that the money we've spent, and the problem we've got is that the players that we spent the money on. They're not, when we signed, when Roman came in, we signed players that were like Champions League ready, Premier League ready. And that we haven't done that this time round, even though we spent gazillions. But anyone that's not watched Chelsea, like I do every single game, will think, well, Chelsea should win the money you spent. The reality is we don't feel like that team just yet. But, I mean, who knows what we can do in the Champions League next season? We saw what Villa did last year, come close, gave PSG a right scare, right? Who knows what we can do in the Champions League? And that, after what we've seen tonight, look, we're a decent team. We're a tough team to beat. There'll be a few teams out there looking at us going, well, here's the question for you, right? Ask Liverpool fans, ask City fans, ask Arsenal fans, all three for these two others, are you a bit concerned about Chelsea? That they can answer the question, are they concerned? Should they be concerned? Because look, we're a keeper away. I still think we're a keeper away from being a side that can do something. Do something.
Former Aston Villa striker Gabby Bongo, he was back on talkSPORT earlier in the week. He called out Chelsea fans for not backing their team to win major trophies next season.
I'm sorry, when you look at what they spend. I mean, last season they spent €281 million. This season already, €179 million. What they're spending each summer, they should be beating the teams that they're beating. They should be one of the favourites to win this competition. We've got to come into it, but I'm sick of hearing Chelsea fans and Cundy and Scott Minto. No, another year, top four would be great and try and win a trophy. No. Chelsea should be going for the title. The amount of money they're spending, the players they're bringing in, the amount of players I've got available. I've done Chelsea 11 and I think I've written down available 30 players here. I get it a couple of years ago, but come on, last season, okay, patience, getting to the top four, okay, getting to Champions League, okay. This season, you can't be the same. Oh, top four will do. Oh, Champions League now. We got to be careful playing Champions League. No, the amount of players you've got. I know they'll get rid of some of these players as well, but they're going to have two teams.
Yeah, look, that was Gabriel Bongnahor speaking earlier on the station in the week. I tend to agree with with Gabs a little bit on this one, Jace. I also understand where you're coming from. I think you've got a really good side in Chelsea. I think João Pedro was fantastic tonight. He looked actually really good. I liked him at Brighton, but I mean, he looked the real deal tonight with the goals that he scored. You spent a lot of money, and you've got to be put under the spotlight a little bit. I think you've been able to get away with it because it's been a young squad. But I think next season you go into it, I'd say. What does the title challenge look like, do you think, for Chelsea?
Yeah, that's what does it look? Because we could have gone top of the table in mid-December, right? We had Everton away. Liverpool had played, I think Liverpool had either played 1 or 2 games less than us, but we had a chance to go top of the table. We drew away at Everton. Following week, we got beat at home by Fulham, and our season were there pretty much ground to a halt. We were terrible through January and February. Couldn't string results. Performances were terrible.
Yeah.
We, looked like we were going to miss out on top 4, top 5. And then the back end of the season, we managed to turn things around, defensively solid, and we looked a much better team. But that 2-month spell, 2.5-month spell, was so damaging to us.
Yeah.
If we can get through a period, because we are a young side, and I've seen us play so many times, we don't deal with setbacks well. Honestly, we get a bloody nose, so we get a punch on the face, and we rock, and you watch everyone. And I see it time and time again last season. We're not good. We need to deal with setbacks. If we can start dealing with setbacks in a bit more of a mature manner and find a way to get through those tough times during games, and they always come along, but I felt that we just seemed to look like a young team. There were parts of that season last year where I go, we look good. You can see where this is going. And there's parts of the season you go, yeah, I can see how, well done, but you're still young. You don't deal with setbacks. If we can deal with setbacks, then I think we've got a great chance of doing something. We ain't going to win the title. We ain't better than Liverpool, right? We ain't going to win the title. But I tell you what I want to see. I want to see us get
Can you
closer.
put them under pressure?
Well, we finished 5 points behind Arsenal last year, right? 5 points.
Didn't win nothing.
No, what I'm saying is, can we now finish above Arsenal? Can we finish above City? Can we get closer to Liverpool? Well, I mean, I think the challenge is there. Go and take it on. I still don't think that we're, as a squad, I still don't think we're quite capable of doing that. But look, I'm hope to be proved wrong, that we can mature and can deal with setbacks. And, when we do concede a goal, don't concede the second one. I see that too many times last season.
Yeah. All right, let's go to some Chelsea fans. They phoned us up. Let's go to Ron. He's a Chelsea fan. All right, Ron.
All right, Ron.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Hello,
all right?
matey.
How are you, Ron? You good?
Yeah, good. Yeah. It was a good game, wasn't it, Chelsea? Do you think Maresca's dropped his L plates now? I mean, he's made some big decisions in this competition. He's put Pedro up top, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't sort of brought Jackson back, and he's made some big decisions. What do you think of Maresca?
Well, I felt last season he got some things right. He got some things wrong, and he's still a young manager. Everyone's talking about Eddie Howe, and rightly so. Everyone's talking about Unai Emery, and rightly so. Finished above the pair of them last year. Hello, people say, you spent millions, so you should. No, but we've not been spending millions on the Didier Drogba, Petr Cech, Ashley Cole.
Yeah, I know, but them signings don't really happen anymore. No,
but they're not those players. But I've seen enough of Maresca to tell me that he's got a style of playing. Yeah. There is at times in games where I'd like to see him be a little bit more proactive. The game that springs to mind is the one at Boxing Day, where Anthony kept going down the left-hand side, and they made changes. Silva made changes, and he didn't quite react quick enough to it. And you felt the goal was coming, and they got the equaliser, and minutes later they get the winner. But I just wonder, there's little in-game management where the Maresca can learn, and he's still a young manager. This is the second time he's ever going to be manager of a side back-to-back seasons. Never done it before. So he'll know his squad. Yeah. And he has
I think he's done a good job. Right, Ron, what do you think? Because I think he's done I have to credit where
I
it's
think
true.
he's getting better, honestly. Well. This is my opinion. I think this tournament is showing that he's I think he's in for Chelsea for the long run, I mean, as I say, he's made some big decisions, and he's played different players in different positions. I mean, Cole Palmer had in my view, a poor game tonight. I mean, he hardly got into the game.
Yeah, I agree.
But Pedro, I mean, he just took it on, and he's hit the ground running, to be honest. So it'd be interesting to see in the final whether Pedro plays up front or...
I think he's
guaranteed, and he's just banged in 2 goals. So he's 2 brilliant goals as well.
Yeah, he starts. He starts. But good call. I mean, the decisions he's talked about there is Nicholas Jackson, right? Nicholas Jackson made the decision easy. Got 2 red cards in 2 games, right? Got sent off against Newcastle, ridiculous red card. He gets sent off in the tournament here, ridiculous red card. You can't have 2 red cards in three games, mate.
No.
You need to be able to trust your players. And do you know what, right? You earn your right to get back in the team. Well, Delap's ahead of him, João Pedro is. So he's got a fight in his hand now, and that's what it should be at a club like Chelsea, competition for places.
You've got enough players.
Well, no, he only won number 9 last year.
Yeah, I know.
All of that, and that's the problem. Jackson had no competition, and I felt that the squad let him down because he knew, and what he plays like, he's going to get back in. Now,
what's Chelsea's best team right now? Can you do it for me?
Reece James at right back. I'm going to go Colwill. Fofana's injured again, so I don't know what he's like. Probably either Tosin or Chalobah. The pair of them dovetail one another really, really well. Midfield.
Cucurella, obviously left back.
Cucurella left back. And then you've got a bit of a problem because whoever plays at right back, let's say it's Reece, right? Yeah. He's in the best. But then if you have Enzo and Caicedo alongside one another, then the answer to that is yes, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to have Palmer.
Okay.
As on the
about Lavia
as number 10. Well, there's your problem, right? Lavia's not fit. You know, he's another one that's a little bit injury prone. You got Neto starts, right? Neto started on the left today. I thought he played well.
Yeah, he done well.
Yeah, done really well.
Who starts on the right?
Start Neto. Well, then you've got Esteval, the young Brazilian boy.
He ain't going to start, mate.
No, he's
17.
not. No, he's not going to start. I know, but it looks like Noni Medawaki's going to Arsenal, from what we know.
Yeah.
So on that left-hand side, we just signed Jamie Gittins. I mean, spending some money.
Oh my God, you got Gittins.
I don't. The answer to that question is an impossible.
You got João Pedro up front.
Yeah, João Pedro. Where'd you play him? Where'd you play him?
Palmer and Kunku.
I know. It's nice problems to have.
Is João Felix still there?
No, he's going, mate.
Is he gone?
He's a player, yeah. And they've got Sterling's another one. Chilwell still there? I think Chilwell's still there.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I know.
How much money, how many players you got? Your wage bill must be ridiculous.
Well,
surprised they can even afford to pay you.
The thing is, though, they're not on big wages. They're on long contracts. The wages they're on aren't what you would expect them to be.
Yeah.
So
that's clever business, though. I have to say with Todd Bowley, that is clever business because what it does do is if it don't work out, you can move them on.
Yeah, and
you ain't stuck with them.
And if looks like we're going to make 20 million on Noni. If he moves on,
he come on tonight.
He did come on, yeah. He's very much part of the squad, but nice options to have.
All right, let's go to David. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, Dave.
All right, Dave-o.
Hiya, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, I know it's a sports show, lads, but I just want to send a nice message to you both, if that's okay.
Go on, mate.
Go for it.
Yeah, I thought it was very touching what you did with Jota last week. It was lovely. Just a bit of context, lads. You both have really helped me the last 2 years. My missus left us, unfortunately, through brain hemorrhage, and I've got 2 daughters, and I've been listening to your shows for 2 years, 3 years.
Oh, mate.
And I love listening to Cundy. Has anyone seen everything every night? I just thought it was a lovely touch last week what you did with Jota, and I just want to send you a nice message tonight. So, you know, that you're actually helping people more than anything.
Yeah, it affected us as much as it affected Liverpool fans. It was horrible.
I
appreciate that, mate, and I hope everything gets better.
Thank you very much.
You want to talk? About Chelsea? You worried about them?
No, I'm not worried about Chelsea. Jesus Christ, you messing. No, Chelsea are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but it could be any one of the top 4 next year. It could be. I don't know how this is going to affect the Liverpool team. I've watched Andy Robertson tonight at Anfield and saw him dead upset. I've seen Van Dijk upset. Don't know how that's going to affect the Liverpool team. So I'm not expecting the league. I wouldn't expect the league any other season. I just want us to challenge. But it'd be nice if we do it. But it could be any one of the top 4 teams, to be honest, the next year. Arsenal just got a striker, so we'll just see. But I don't expect...
I think the Premier League's going to be really good next season.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
I feel like it's going to... I felt like maybe it was not a lull, but like a bit of a changing of the guard, with Man City dropping off and other teams doing well. I feel like the big hitters are back. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, all signed really good players.
Yeah, exactly. And Newcastle need to do something if they don't want to fall away. They need to sign a few players, I think, because once they get in the Champions League, their squad's too thin to cope with it. Man United are a mile away. Sorry, Jamie, but Spurs are a mile away from up there.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. I'm disappointed with Spurs right now, I'll be honest.
Exactly. But I think it's the top 4, I think they'll be top 4 next year. We'll just see how it goes. But as I say, I don't expect nothing from Liverpool this year. I hope the lads are okay, and I wish them the best.
Dave, top man, mate. I appreciate your call.
Thank you very much, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, lads.
All right.
Good luck, David.
Get your calls in, Chelsea fans. Do you think you should be challenging for the title? Are you worried if you're a Man City or a Liverpool fan? You think they can be right up there? Arsenal as well. They're going to be in the mix. All to play for. The Premier League. It's going to be exciting. 03 717 22 33 44.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll
You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Still to come with more of your calls in Chelsea. Should they be considered title challengers next season? 03 717 22 3344. But first, let's hear our João Pedro double for Chelsea in the Club World Cup semi-final standard live on talkSPORT.
Hello me, you look to me, your smile. Hello me, you look to me.
in by Thiago Silva and curled in superbly by João Pedro. What a way to open his Chelsea account. That was a special goal from João Pedro, curling in an absolute beauty. Wide towards João Pedro, left-hand side of the penalty area. He's shown the inside, he takes the route and he hammers the ball home in majestic fashion. João Pedro with his second against his boyhood club, and the new man has surely fired Chelsea into the Club World Cup final.
Yeah, João Pedro was on fire tonight. Was you expecting that from him straight away?
Well, he looked sharp when he came off the bench against Palmeiras on Saturday morning. He had half hour, but he looked really sharp. Gave us something different up top. And look, he's come in, scored 2 goals in 2 games. This is his first start. He's given Maresca, I wouldn't say a problem, but like you said to the previous caller, he's got to start on Sunday.
Yeah, of course he has.
Simply has to start. You can't score 2 goals and leave him out, right?
No,
so
he's not. 2 great goals as well.
Well, that's what he's paid that money for.
Yeah, good sign. Let's go to Cone Man, Mark. He's a Chelsea fan. Right, Mark?
All right.
Hi, boys. How's it going? You all right?
Remind me why you're called Cone Man.
I used to be Milkman, Mark.
Oh, is it?
It's Milkman. Yeah, right. And now what? You do traffic?
Yeah, traffic management, yeah.
Cone Man, Mark. What are you doing tonight? Are you out and about?
Well, I missed the game because I was actually at Cobham.
Right. What, the training ground?
You know my daughter's a goalkeeper, didn't you? We've had
Yeah.
Well, she was having her medical today, and on Monday we're off to Stamford Bridge, and she's signing for the Women's Academy.
Oh, well done, mate. Congrats.
Well done.
So,
good luck.
That's the reason I missed the game. I did listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I thought, I spoke to
well
you guys
done.
for a long
Well
time.
done.
Really busy, but yeah.
Hope she does well. And maybe in the future you sign for a proper club like Tottenham.
No, but thoughts on Chelsea next season?
Yeah, go on.
I just think we can progress a little bit from this season. Stick to the top 4 and maybe put a bit more of a challenge in. That's a success. I don't think we're ready to challenge for a title yet. They're still too young.
What do you mean they're still too young, though, mate? Hold on. I'm sorry, I've got to pull you up on this. What do you mean they're still too young? What is that? Everyone's young.
They're not.
Everyone's young these days. It's a young. Yeah, but it's a young man's game now. Do you know what I mean? Like
Van Dijk's not young.
You need men in the team. You need men.
You got Casado and Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, but they're not. They're puppies compared to the Bulldogs we used to have.
Well, what about PSG? Just won the Champions League, one of the youngest teams you see.
Yeah, that is true. But PSG have got rid of all their superstars and they've got a proper manager behind them now and knows what he's doing.
Well, Chelsea have got a young side, but, you can't just keep using, they're young, you're not under 18 side.
No, I think we need to learn, and we need to learn quickly, because the best example, I made that point, right, is Nicholas Jackson. 2 red cards in 3 games, right? That is utterly ridiculous. And he can't keep leaning on that, saying it's young. You're right, they've got to learn, and learn quickly.
Yeah.
My only concern is that we don't have those old heads in that dressing room that would, we lost Kovacic, we lost Aspilicueta, we lost Thiago Silva, serious seasoned pros. And the oldest player that played last season, 27, Tosin. It's the oldest player that played in Chelsea last year.
How old's Cucurella?
I don't know, 25?
Yeah, I feel like he's, I mean, you've got experience in the team, like, come on.
Well, they're getting more experience.
You've got a World Cup winner in midfield.
There is a World Cup winner. Say again?
I said they're gaining experience as they go along.
Yeah. But learn quickly. Learn. I'm getting tired at times of watching Chelsea. I said to Jay there, we'll concede, because I've seen it too. Benfica, right, the other night, completely dominated the game. Completely. Come out second half, they get an equaliser. And I thought, you're just not quite that team yet. And then we got over the line. But look, I think there's enough there for us to show our teeth and cause a lot of teams a lot of problems next season.
Keeper. We need a keeper big time.
I'm not convinced with Sanchez.
Yeah, that's... we'll see. Look, when the window shuts, if we're coming with a new keeper...
sign another one. You only got 8 to choose from.
Yeah, well, Kepa's gone.
Oh, 7.
I like Petrovic. I think Petrovic should come back.
I think he'll go, Petrovic. I think he wants to leave. I think he'll move out.
What's success? What's success for Chelsea next season and for you?
Well, obviously trophies. Win a trophy. Well, Champions League.
Oh, realistically,
why can't we go deep in the competition? Why can't we?
You just said you're not good enough to win the title. You ain't going to win the Champions League.
No, but titles, it's got to be 38 games away. You can It'd be a good team and win a cup. You can. But you've got to be a brilliant team to win the league.
You can be like Spurs. You can be a rubbish team and win a cup.
You were a rubbish team. Yeah.
Champions League's easier to win now, the new format.
There's some big... you need a little bit of fortune in the Champions League. You know, need maybe a little bit of a fortunate draw.
Okay, all right, here's a question.
Go on.
If you win the Carabao Cup and finish 5th...
No, not taking that.
No.
FA Cup and 5th?
No. No. The minimum requirement...
FA Cup and 3rd?
No, that's a bit more appealing. 3rd, that means we're getting closer. We're getting near the top. It's a bit more appealing.
The trophy, it'd be good.
Yeah, it's a bit more appealing that. What have we done in the Champions League? How far have we got?
No, you got spanked.
No, I don't know even that. I'm spanked.
No, out in the first round.
Don't laugh the track, mate.
No?
Tonight could have been the first laughter track of the season,
I know,
Jay.
I was so desperate.
I said that to
We've got next week. We've got next week, don't worry. We've got that, don't worry.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, Monday.
You've got to play PSG and Real Madrid, mate.
Yeah. I'd rather play Real Madrid. Who thought anyone would ever say that?
Yeah, it's PSG team fine, isn't
Some team,
Yeah, they are some team. Mark, thanks for calling. Let's go to Cole. He's a Chelsea fan. All right, Cole.
All right, Cole.
Cole? It feels like he's just not there at all.
No.
Cole?
There's nothing.
There's nothing there.
Completely dead.
Let's go to James, who's a Man United fan. James?
All right, Jimbo.
Hello, lads. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I spoke to you lads after United won the semi-final in the Europa League,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I was a bit mocking of the Tottenham fella. Sorry, mate. Jamie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie.
Yeah. Go on.
And
how can you forget my name? Your name's James.
The same name.
Yeah, I've had a few glasses of milk, so. I was actually ringing to say I'm going tomorrow to New York because I'm going to the final.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got a great friend of mine who's a big Chelsea fan, and he was saying to me months ago, if we do this, if we do that, if we get an easy draw, we get to the final. I was thinking you've got no chance, but he rang me up the other day and said, "Do you fancy?" And I thought, you know what, why not? It'd be a good occasion, and they're in the final now, and I'll be supporting Chelsea, which is a terrible thing for a United fan to say. But
James, don't do that, matey. Don't do that. You can't go and support. You can go and watch and enjoy it, but you can't be supporting Chelsea, mate.
No, do you know what? I'm not that bothered if they win or lose. To be honest, I think you probably know yourselves, Paris and Madrid are probably a level slightly above Chelsea.
Yeah.
So,
Well, why do you care? You're a Man United fan.
Well, I'm also a football fan. So I've been to World Cups and Champions League finals, and this is the first ever proper club World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the Champions League, the European Cup when it came out was mocked and people weren't interested in it, and the English teams were told not to go even to participate in it.
Right, that's right.
So I think in years to come you might look back on this and think
maybe
this becomes a big tournament because there's big money in it.
I don't think it's going to be a big tournament.
No, you never know, mate. You never know what it might.
Well, it hasn't captured the imagination, has it? Let's be honest. I mean, all right, I've watched it tonight because Chelsea are playing, right? I'll watch the game tomorrow because PSG Real Madrid is a great game. But apart from that, have you really been bothered about any of the games? Like some of them have interested me, but I need more from it.
Al Hilal have showed us a little bit, actually. They are capable. Well, they knocked out. They scored 4 past City.
Well, the fact that they knocked out City shows. Yeah. It just shows that it's not a Mickey Mouse competition.
It's been a bit of an eye-opener, some of the teams. I thought Palmeiras did. The Fluminense tonight, they were poor. I expected more and better from them. To be honest. They were very disappointing.
Yeah, look, if your team's in it,
you want to win it.
You're in it to win it, right? But what it needs to do to become like the Champions League, it needs to capture the interest of people whose team are not in it. Everyone watches the Champions League because, regardless of your team's in it, because it's the Champions League. It's the big nights, European nights. And you go, I want to watch that game, regardless of who's playing.
It's true. It's true.
That's what this has got. This is what that's got to produce. What?
If it catches on.
Yeah, I mean, it's every 4 years as well, isn't it? What happens, by the way? So is there a Club World Cup? Is the other version still knocking about or not? Is this replaced it completely? That's completely gone, is it?
This is it. Now.
Right, so it's every 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's see.
There's huge money.
Yeah, there is.
Teams will go.
Hold on. I need to get something right. If Chelsea win this tournament, you've got that over me for 4 years.
Yeah, world champions. We're in the World Cup final, mate.
I'm going to have to deal with you saying world champions for 4 years.
Fingers crossed, matey.
Oh, mate.
Fingers
PSG,
crossed.
Real Madrid need to absolutely pull their finger. James, while I've got you, you're a Man United fan.
Yep.
Are you convinced what's going on at Man United? You're missing out on Gyökeres.
Yep.
You've got
I
Mbeumo
just
trying
think it
to
just
come
goes
in.
to
But
show, you know, if they wanted to get Mbeumo, they should have gone and got him by now because he's Premier League quality. I'd like to see them get him. I think he'd be a really good addition, but it's like this new regime is worse than the old regime because the decisions they've made, and you know, you're sacking the tea ladies and you're spending 100 million on rubbish.
Yeah,
and it's just I was at the Europa League final actually, so
you get about you, didn't you? Eh?
Well,
you love a big old final, you.
I do, but I have to say about the Europa League final, where I was sort of near the middle of, you know, near the halfway line. A lot of Spurs fans in tears beside me, and I felt for them because I'm a big United fan. I've travelled, I've seen United win and lose games and been emotional. Yeah. And I kind of felt like there was a great atmosphere amongst the fans. There was no, if that was Liverpool United or Chelsea against West Ham, it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's just two rubbish teams playing in a final, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was just a rubbish game, and you know, Tottenham were the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, well, they did what they had to do. They defended well. They won the game. So, you know, fair play to them. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I'm not happy with Tottenham. I want to talk about Tottenham. I'll probably do it after 11. I'm a Tottenham fans. I want to speak to them. What's going on? Any danger?
What do you mean?
We summatised Tell and was it Tokaki from Kawasaki?
Two good players, mate.
Come on, do me a favour. Do me a favour.
It's a strong squad you've got going into the next season, mate.
Normally I'd have a bit of banter about it, but it's actually starting to wind me up because everyone's like Arsenal done business, Newcastle done business,
Chelsea haven't
Man
finished
City,
yet.
You might be in trouble next year, you know.
Chelsea.
I mean, we're not going to be in trouble, but like, come on, guys, we've got Champions League football. Any danger of us actually signing someone? You've
got a lot of games next season.
Yeah, I know. We've got loads of games, and we ain't got a squad. We ain't good enough. I'm not going to get wound up. It's the 8th of July.
Dave,
I'm not getting wound up.
Take a chill pill.
I'm not getting wound up. It's the 8th of July. There's loads of time.
You know what you need? You need Todd Bowley there, mate. He'll go in there, start causing a storm. Player here, player, billions being spent.
How'd you get away with it? How did Bowley get away with it?
Sold the women's team, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
200 million, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now Villa have done it.
Yeah, Villa.
That's what you should do. Sell your women's team to yourself.
Very clever accounting.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what they get paid the big bucks for. James, thanks for your call.
Cheers, Jimbo.
Keep them coming in. Chelsea fans, you want to get involved if you think they're going to challenge, if there's other fans should be worried, give us a call. 03 717 22 334. listening to the record-breaking Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy, still to come. Going to be joined by Troy Deeney from outside the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. But first, let's crack on with your calls following Chelsea's 2-0 win over Fluminense in the Club World Cup semi-final, live on talkSPORT.
We got a party to go to tonight.
And that is it. The full-time whistle goes, and Chelsea are 90 minutes away from potentially being world champions. They are into the final in New York on Sunday, live on the talkSPORT network. João Pedro, the Brazilian international, scoring his first goals for the club to knock out the Brazilian giants Fluminense. And Chelsea will face another real giant in the final, but they're still here, they're still fighting, and they could yet be the best in the world. Full time, Fluminense 0, Chelsea 2.
A reminder that talkSPORT have live commentary of tomorrow night's semi-final between Real Madrid and PSG. Now, Darren Bent was back alongside Andy Goldstein on Drive earlier today. The boys had a debate on whether Chelsea should be considered title contenders next season.
They've not gone in and bought in ready-made superstars.
No, they haven't.
So it tells me...
When should you see...
Give another year, let them develop again.
Not another year?
Yeah, let them develop again.
Develop again?
Well, okay, Liam Delap, right? They've signed him for a young kid, done really well.
Yeah.
He's obviously not going to lead the line for them to... They've not signed him to win the league. They're thinking in the future he will win us the league. When they sold Carl...
Okay, it's a huge risk, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Because you're effectively saying that Chelsea's standing still.
Well, they're not standing... They're still moving forward. But
top 4 and top 4, or top 5 and top 5.
Yeah, but if they're closing the gap on the ones above them, then it's... I think for Chelsea, they're not buying players now. Like, they're not spending like 100 million on Haaland, who's ready to go now, or like they're not buying ready-made superstars. What they're trying to do is sign younger players and turn them into superstars. So I think that give it another year, because even the manager's inexperienced.
Yes, Bentley speaking to Goldstein earlier on Drive. Let's go to Carl. He's a Chelsea fan. Carl?
All right, Carl, up to Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea, yeah. Great show, guys. I think Chelsea got a great chance for next season. I think we could actually definitely contend for the title. I would put us up there with Liverpool, City, and Arsenal.
You're not, though, are you? Come on, calm down a bit, like you lot. calm yourselves down, right? You beat Fluminense, who are bang average, right? You beat a Benfica side who are all right. Who was the other? Palmeiras. Who not at your level. Like, come on. All right, you're in the final, but it's like almost like a Conference League route you've taken.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, because I went up to Stamford Bridge to watch them against Legia Warsaw and Djurgården, and this is like the follow-on. Now we've gone to USA, but we could be world champions, and being world champions is massive.
You could be, but you've got to beat PSG or Real Madrid.
I'll tell you what, Sunday will be interesting, right, to see how we've come up against... Especially PSG, right? They are the best side in Europe. You don't always get the best side winning the Champions League, but last season we got the best side. They are a class act. Be interesting to see if we do play them, how we measure up. How far are we away from them? How close can we get to them?
Yeah.
And like last season, next season, there'll be teams out. We'll give teams a bloody nose next season.
Okay.
We'll cause teams a lot of problems.
You'll cause Ronaldo in the crowd.
Sorry?
Brazilian Ronaldo and Kaká in the crowd.
Yeah. One of the top players, Club World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's what I mean. And O'Hara, I love your Instagram post, and congratulations on your marriage.
Thanks, matey. Cheers, Cole. That was nice.
It was nice.
You're welcome.
I was just thinking that last break, right? What would Chelsea look like to challenge, right? And this is never going to happen, right? But this type of player, put Petr Cech in goal. Right?
Okay.
Put Petr Cech in goal.
Yeah, good luck.
Get prime John Terry there, right?
Okay.
Right?
So you just spent 250 million.
That's what I mean. Then I can sit here and say to you, I think we'll have a go. But we don't have a Petr Cech in goal. We are a Robert Sanchez. He's a pass out the back. Some of the mistakes last season, I think he was responsible. He was at one stage for the most mistakes conceding goals. That can't carry on, mate. That can't carry on. If that carries on...
If we got stats from us last season, do you think you'd probably up there with the most mistakes? If we got our mistakes on talkSPORT across the network,
mate,
I reckon
on talkSPORT.
On talkSPORT.
Oh mate, yeah, burping.
I reckon Cundy definitely
all sorts of noises.
The Robert Sanchez of talkSPORT.
But right, listen.
Good on his day. Good.
Good.
He's got a mistake.
There's a lot of mistakes, mate. But if we can get one of those strikers upstairs, if we can get one of those strikers be 20 goals a season, right?
I mean, I know.
I know, but that's what.
What are you going on about?
Right, okay. See,
you spent £1 billion quid. You go, we need a John Terry, we need a Peter Cech, and we need a striker who gets us 20 goals. You spent £1 billion quid.
Yeah, I know.
Have you not got it already?
Because they don't buy those players. That's the point Bennett was just making. That's the point Bennett was making. We're not, and that as a Chelsea fan, there's a certain frustration. The fact that we've not gone out and we've not signed that Mike Mannion that we looked at AC Milan, right? He's 31, right? It come bags of experience. The French number one. That would give us, that would feel such a different team. But we don't have those, and we ain't buying those players. That is a sense of frustration at times that we don't have those players. But look, Casado, he's a leader. Enzo, he's a leader. Colwell's going to have to become a leader. There's players in this team now that have got to come out and start emerging as leaders and be that voice. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't get 2 red cards in 3 games. That's going to cost you, mate. It nearly cost us Champions League football last season, right?
Yeah.
It could have cost us in the Club World Cup. That can't carry on.
All right. Cole, thanks for your call. Let's go to Alex. He's an Everton fan. All right, Al.
All right, Al.
Alex?
Al?
Alex?
Excuse me.
Al? There he is. Let's go to Chelsea Harry. All right, Harry.
Right, H.
Right, mate. I think you sounded a bit.
H? What's going on?
What's going on here? What's happening?
They're dropping like flies.
They are dropping like flies. Alex, is Alex there? He's on the line.
Al.
Al, there you are. Hello, mate.
Can you hear me, boys?
Yeah. Go on.
Sorry about that.
That's
How
all
are
right.
we all doing?
Yeah, good, matey. How are you?
Jamie, when are we going to see you playing Jimmy Bullard again?
Never. I ain't playing him at golf no more. I'm getting Cundy involved in the golf gigs now. He don't even play golf. But at least I know I can I'll beat him at golf, and I can't beat him at drinking the beers in the buggy. But at least I got someone to come along with me.
It was a good watch. He's a wonderful golfer, isn't he? But yeah, anyways, look, this is going to sound a bit like it's all over the place, but any team in Europe, I want to do well. Cundy, I know you don't agree with that, but
what do you mean, any English team?
Yeah, any English team in Europe or any English team competing in an international tournament like this, I want Chelsea to win, right? I just feel, and I think Chelsea will do really well next season as well. Obviously, as an Everton fan, we've had points deductions for financial issues, right? And I think that on balance, it's probably going to help us in the long term because we've had to cut our cloth accordingly, right? And I just wonder, like, there's more to Jason, right? You're obviously a big Chelsea fan.
Yep.
For years and years and years, Chelsea was spending like crazy.
Yep.
And when Bodie took over, I think I'm right in this, they kind of said, look, there were some irregularities in what we've done in the past. We're just going to put our hands up now and say this has happened.
Yeah, yes, there's a terminology for it that they.
It's like we know it's happened, but it wasn't us.
Yeah,
so,
they did. They revealed.
Yeah,
they found holes in the books, and they told of UEFA. That's basically what happened. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So look, I just wonder, like, we're in a situation where you're stockpiling players like crazy. We get the reason why you're doing it, but it just feels to me that you look at other teams around you, like maybe like West Ham, Villa, Newcastle.
Yeah.
They can't go out and get Casado for 120 million. They can't get Fernandes. And I just wonder, from your perspective, looking at it both through being a Chelsea fan and a journalist, do you see the conflict in it where you're like, I want these teams to do well, but I wanted Villa to do well in the Champions League, and now they're pretty much every single place for sale for PSR reasons, and yet you can sell a hotel back to yourselves.
Yeah.
You can sell the women's team for 200 million, and it just feels like.
No, well, PSR. The thing is, PSR is I think Newcastle and Aston Villa, 2 of the richest clubs in the world, by the way. I think they should be able to go and spend what they want. I think it's the PSR's the problem, and it's every single club is trying to find a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm not clever enough and smart enough
stifling the game.
to tell you what Chelsea have done and how they've done it. Simon Jordan would explain. You listen to Art and Jordan, he's brilliant at it, talking about the length of contracts, how they work, and how that breaks down over every single year. And he explains in more detail than I could. I'm not a money man. I'm not a financial man. I don't know how it works.
We know that.
You know,
as a football fan,
yeah, go on.
Every single all the promoted temy get relegated every season now.
Yeah,
because of the.
Well, I don't understand what's the question. Are you saying that I should want other teams to do well in Europe?
My question is, as someone that's obviously a big Chelsea fan, but also someone that's in the football business, do you think that Chelsea not having to sort of level up, as it were, financially to the same as to the other clubs. Do you think that is bad for the game?
Why don't they do what Chelsea are doing?
Say that again, sorry?
Why don't they do what Chelsea do? Aston Villa now are selling their women's team to themselves. And there was a vote, a Premier League vote, for those type of things to be outlawed. And the Premier League votes, so they want it to continue. They want the situation where clubs can sell things themselves. So there was a vote. So the Premier League clubs have voted it.
But Abramovich had a 20-year head start on everyone. You must agree with that,
there's
right?
nothing I can do about that.
You can't have two hotels.
Can't stop that, can you?
No, there's nothing I can
Can't stop that. Do you know what I mean? So did Man City.
I like, for example, one of the things I think, just as an idea, I wonder what your thoughts are. I think that the promoted teams should be allowed 2 domestic loans, whereas to allow teams like Chelsea who've got massively inflated squads with young players that won't play any games to still play in the Premier League and maybe give some of the promoted teams chances to compete. Don't get me wrong, Everton have benefited from the fact there's been 3 worse teams than us for the last 4 years.
I know.
But the other side to it is it's not great. It's not a great product for the league. As much as I think the next season is going to be amazing at the top of the league, I just feel that the way that Chelsea have got around it all, and I get it, it must be legit for them to be able to do it. It just doesn't feel.
Okay.
I don't know. It just feels like the game's losing itself a bit.
All right, Al, listen, mate, thanks for your call. We're going to hear from Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca following his size 2-0 win over Fluminense in the Club World Cup semi-final. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus, become my dog.
Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know. Well, here's the tale. Tennis is widely known to be a French sport. It dates back to the 12th century when people used handmade balls, and it was then called tennis, which is the verb to hold in French. And people used some pretty wacky material to make the balls with. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur, and even human hair. A few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impact with the racket. The call of new balls please seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish, and it was wide into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the International Tennis Federation, sensing an opportunity, started developing a new ball that would be visible even without the need for 4K LED displays. Not that anyone had that in the late 60s. After rigorous testing, they came up with the colour optic yellow and decided every ball be coated in that colour from there on in. And there you have it. Tennis balls are yellow, all because Sir David Attenborough wanted to watch Wimbledon from the comfort of his own front room. You could say the ITF aced it.
Welcome to the record-breaking Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy alongside me. Still to come, we're going to be joined by Troy Deeney from outside the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. We have our midnight trivia tonight. You can help us out on that. 03717 223344. But we're joined now by European football expert Kevin Hatchard to go over some of the biggest transfer rumours today. All right, Kev?
All right, Kev.
How are we, chap? Too well?
We are good, matey. We're good. Look, we've seen the Chelsea make it to the Club World Cup. I'm sure they'll be trying to sign someone else. They've made Cundy just told me they made over 100 million.
$100 million US apparently. That's already.
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue, right? And this isn't a dig at Chelsea. This is a problem I have with the tournament in general. Because what you're going to get is, because the money is so enormous, you're going to get a situation where it might not make as big a difference with a team like Chelsea or Real Madrid, but you're going to get teams that are just entrenched as champions in certain leagues. So Salzburg, they're not picking up huge amounts of money, but it's still a fair chunk. And I just think over time, if you've got similar teams qualifying every 4 years, it's just going to entrench these kind of financial inequalities. So actually, yes, I get the player welfare piece. Yes, I get all the stuff about the weather delays and all this. I actually think the finance issue is a really, really big one, because it's kind of, I mean, fair play to Chelsea. They've got to the final, but it's going to supercharge teams' transfer kitties, and there's only a few clubs who are actually involved.
Yeah. Let's talk about some transfers with you, Kev. Luis Diaz again. He keeps getting linked with a move away. Darwin Núñez as well. What can you tell us about them?
Well, look, I think the Núñez thing is possibly going to be linked to what happens with Victor Osimhen, because Galatasaray are pushing really, really hard to sign him from Napoli. He was at Galatasaray on loan last season. That's a deal that he seems to want to go through. He's been really happy in Istanbul. He's been playing really well for them. But it's about coming up with a number that Napoli are happy with, and not just a number, but a payment structure as well, because it's believed that Galatasaray are trying to make this happen in instalments rather than in one go. So if that gets done eventually, then you would think that would fund a move for Napoli to bring in a striker. And Darwin Núñez is a player that's been linked with him for a long, long time. What I find really interesting about the Núñez thing, though, is that Romelu Lukaku is absolutely number one, right, for Antonio Conte. So if you're going in there, obviously Napoli are going to be in the Champions League, so that's a part of it. But he isn't going to be necessarily nailed on as a first choice to start with. So it'd be really interesting to see how that plays out if he goes there.
Arsenal been a busy couple of days. Could it get even busier? Gyökeres is one that they've been linked with. Madueke is another one. Eze. What can you tell us about that?
Well, on the Gyökeres thing, it does seem as though they've gone for him over Benjamin Šeško. I mean, we've talked about Gyökeres a lot. I think the big question, I like him a lot. Strikes the ball beautifully, carries it really well. The goal-scoring record speaks for itself. It's just whether he's going to be able to kind of port those abilities across to the Premier League. But, of course, he's played in English football before, although not at that level. So we'll see how he does. But I do like him a lot, and I can understand why Arsenal are going for him. But the question it poses is what happens now with Benjamin Šeško, because RB Leipzig went into this summer knowing that they hadn't qualified for Europe, knowing that they were going to have to sell at least one big player to balance the books. Now, Šeško was one they'd earmarked to do that, but have they priced him out of a move? The other one is Xavi. And he's been linked with Premier League clubs for quite a while, but it's been very, very quiet on him this summer. Now, there might be stuff going on in the background, but it doesn't seem like there's been some big bidding war for him so far. And what I wonder is, are clubs waiting until later in the window for Leipzig to panic? Are they waiting for Leipzig to maybe drop the price, not just for Xavi, but for Benjamin Šeško as well? So I'd be really interested to see how Premier League clubs and others actually play that.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Look, I've got to ask you about the other Club World Cup semi-final, PSG versus Real Madrid. It feels like a Champions League final. Probably wished it was. The best team in Europe going up against the greatest side in the world, really, isn't it?
And it's Mbappe against his old club, which is really, really interesting. That just adds a little twist. Although without Mbappe largely, they've done absolutely fine. And one of the big reasons for that, of course, has been Gonzalo Garcia, who scored 4 goals in the tournament. He's the joint top scorer. He was a player that had come through the ranks at Real Madrid. Nobody expected him to have the kind of impact that he's made. And suddenly Xabi Alonso has got a decision to make, because he's got 2 striker spots and he's got Mbappe, he's got Vinicius Junior, and he's suddenly got Garcia. So
Mbappe's
really
played, let's be honest, right?
Well, I would think so, but Xabi Alonso's quite an interesting coach. He doesn't always do what you think he's going to do. And I know there's a political element with Mbappe, but he does make some quite left field decisions sometimes, and he's got conviction, absolutely. So I'll be fascinated to see that. I think what's been really interesting is that Real Madrid have taken on board the ideas really quickly. There have been elements.
What's been different, Kev?
Well, I think the shape at times, in terms of that back three at times, I think the way he's used Trent is very similar to the way that you've seen wing-backs operate at Bayer Leverkusen. I think some of the work without the ball, I think it's been really, really interesting. And this is only the first few weeks. The big thing as well, actually, is I talk about left field. Arda Güler has been a really important part of what he's done so far. And Arda Güler was a bit in and out under Ancelotti. He got some minutes, but you weren't sure he was going to be a nailed-on starter. But he's had a really important role and a slightly deeper role as well. So I'd be fascinated to see, again, how many minutes does he get? How does that develop over the course of the forthcoming season? PSG, to me, and to you guys, I suspect as well, there isn't a team of their level right now.
No.
There are teams that can compete, and Bayern did compete in that quarter-final, but they are playing with such confidence and such quality, and that midfield is just unbelievable. Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, they dovetail so beautifully, and the squad depth is crazy. And you just wonder how you can stop them. Real Madrid have the quality, but PSG are a lot further down the track under Luis Enrique than Real Madrid are under Xabi Alonso right now.
Can you see Chelsea beating either of these sides, Kev, or will Chelsea be the underdogs?
Do you mean will they be the underdog?
Well,
I mean, as much as you can be underdogs having spent £1 billion.
No, I know, but we just meant, we know how good PSG are. We know how good Real Madrid have been. I just wonder, do you think there's anything that you can see that Chelsea might be able to get past these two?
I would say Chelsea would be underdogs against PSG. Yeah. That's not to say they couldn't win, because I think they are improving. And you look at the quality they've brought in, it's outstanding. I mean, I love Joao Pedro. I think he's a brilliant player. So to bring him in mid-tournament is very Chelsea. And he's hit the ground running. So they'd have a puncher's chance against either. Yeah. Would there be underdogs against both? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
All right, Kev. Top man,
Cheers,
mate.
Kev.
Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, chaps.
All right, Kevin Hatchard there, European football expert. Still to come. Troy Deeney's coming on outside the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. We're going to do a midnight triv. You can get your calls in for that and help us out. Listen to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. Begin with a dog. Yeah, you're listening to the Sports Bar talkSPORT. Myself, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy, going to bring you tomorrow's back pages as soon as they're in. But first, Man United reportedly pulled out of a Fly on the Wall documentary that would have banked them more than 10 million quid. United been in secret talks with Amazon over being the latest side in their All or Nothing series. They were locked in negotiations for months. Apparently, I read this story. Ruben Amorim wasn't too keen on it, Jace.
No, I don't blame him.
That is the last thing Man United need
Yeah,
right now.
I mean,
they are not in a position to be doing an all-or-nothing series.
No, they are a football club that internally need to sort things out. You know, the Man United,
that would just be an inside doc
You'd
on
watch it though,
the
wouldn't
shambles. Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing, but
would be, yeah.
for all the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah. And
them all-or-nothing things, right? When they first started, I remember them being about,
Sunderland was best.
The Patriots and all that, and the big ones. But now they're looking for the ones who are going to give them the most views, right?
Well, Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in world football. That goes without
You
saying.
can't do an all or nothing, can you? Because it's going to be nothing, right? It's going to be an inside look on how much of a shambles that football club is.
Yes, it would be. The old leaky roof. That's what I'm looking at. For. So
Leaky
it's definitely
roof. It's not happening. No, it's not happening. I mean, it'd be great TV.
It would be great TV.
But for everyone who's involved at Man United, if you're Ruben Amorim, you're a manager.
So they
do not need that in your life.
And the ones that I've seen, they're very intrusive, right? The managers can't want, it must be hard working around with cameras everywhere. You want to get on with, especially when things don't go well.
Yeah.
I mean, last season, there was a disaster for United. And Amorim had an absolute torrid, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He'll want to concentrate on getting that job done, mate. Because he's got a big, by the way, you made this point last season. He has got a big 10, 15 games.
Yeah.
They cannot be in that bottom half or looking down. Up to 10, 15 games.
They've got to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
They really have. They've got to put in some decent performances at the start of the season to get people convinced that he is the man.
Yes, he does.
Because he's got no excuses now.
No, last season you can almost write it off, saying, okay, wasn't your squad, fair enough, parachuted in, all that sort of stuff. Next season, that won't wash. That simply won't wash.
I'm not convinced. All right, let's look ahead to the latest odds to talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
He's changed his name again now. He's back to talkSPORT Bet's Ryan Scott Douglas, not Inside Red Devils, so just making it up as he goes along.
Rhino.
Evening, lads. How are you both?
All right, mate. How are you?
talkSPORT Bet, isn't he? Yeah, I'm not bad. I've got Man United's documentary, by the way. I think they should just drop the all bit of the title and just call it Man United Nothing.
Yeah.
Because it would be, there's morbid curiosity there from my part. I'd love to see what's going on behind the scenes, but at the same time, I think that's a good move.
If I'm a manager of Man United right now, that is the last thing I want on my doorstep.
Yeah,
you do
I completely
not need
agree.
that right now. He's got so much going on. He do not need cameras in his face when he's going into his office. No chance.
Yeah. He might not even make the end of the season of the show either. Let's be honest with you. By the time it's finished, so who knows?
I don't think he will. Right, let's get some odds. What about the other semi-final tomorrow? Big game.
Yeah, innit? I know, yeah. Heavyweight fight, really, of the competition, you could argue. The Mbappe derby said nobody. But yeah, that is the point. I mean, both of these teams, they put the big Germans to the sword as well in Dortmund and Bayern. So that, they're good for it. I mean, PSG down to 9. They still managed to stick one past Bayern to make it 2-0 as well. So Luis Enrique, he won it 10 years ago with Barca. When I was doing my research, I saw that. Oh, to the year, he won it 10 years ago with Barca, and I love him. I love PSG, and I love his story as well. So look, I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't got a dog in the fight, but I'm going to be backing PSG for this one, and I don't mind telling you, they are the favourites. They're on at 13-10. Madrid are on at 9-5, and the draw's 13-5 here. So what do you look at in a game like this? That's the question. Well, PSG to win, both teams to score. I think that'll be looked at by so many, and that's on at 31-10. talkSPORT Bet have boosted that, so I'm happy to say that. I mean, you can look at individual players. You've got Barcola. There's so many players from PSG. I know I've spoke about them before. There's goals and assists all over the pitch. Barcola to get an assist is 100-30. That's a booster as well from talkSPORT Bet. Mbappe just shy of evens in the Mbappe derby, so you can bang him in your bet builder. Right. But I'm looking at, I know he was just mentioned, Gonzalo Garcia. He's the man. He is the man. I mean, and the quality of his goals are really good as well. 4 goals in his last 5, including 3 games in a row there. 21 years of age. He's 29-20 to score any time. So think about that for your bet builders. That's what I'll say. And also, talkSPORT Bet having boosted, score 2 or more, 7-1. So if you think it's going to be a ding-dong, loads and loads of goals tomorrow, for him to score 2 or more, 7-1, that's not a bad price, boys. So that's what I'll look at.
Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff, and myself and Jay will be taking calls straight after that. There's also another big game in Group D, live on talkSPORT as well. The England women take on the Netherlands. It's a game they have to win. They got turned over at the weekend by France. They need 3 points here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's an understatement. In fact, when I previewed the game, England were favourites going into it, and I said, look, it's one of those things where contemplate France for your ACCA, because France are a very, very good side. So I wasn't actually shocked that England lost that one, and it was underwhelming. I mean, Adrian Durham didn't hold back with his player ratings. Gave Serena Wiegman a 1 out of 10, by the way.
Oh, wow,
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, his player ratings are a bit harsh, but
they can be, can't they?
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. I can't remember seeing one of them before. I mean, there's a few 3s and 4s, but
I see it when you hosted Red Devils.
That was good. That was good. He caught me out of nowhere with a little kidney shot. So 1 out of 10 with the player ratings there. So I mean, England are favourites for this one, but if they lose, right, and France win or draw, England are out. They're out already. So they can't afford to lose.
Quite a big disappointment, wouldn't it? Eh?
It would be, yeah.
They've got to beat the Netherlands.
They've got to. I mean,
Netherlands quite good though, right? And then right side.
They were right. They've won 2 on the bounce. They're looking to make it 3. But, I mean, England have won 3 out of the last 4 games against them. But then in typical stat fashion, Netherlands won the last one they played. So it's really up in the air. It's going to be one of those games. England are favourites. I'll say it again like I did against France, though. They're on at 4-5. Netherlands are 29-10 to potentially dump the Lionesses out of the competition. The draw's on at 5-2. England to win, both teams to score 14-5. Booster. That's quite tasty if you think the Lionesses will get through. I will offer the other side of the coin, as I always do. Medema for Netherlands scored in each of her last 2. She's 41-20. So if you want a Netherlands goal scorer, bang that in the bet builder.
Okay. What about Premier League next season? I know there's a few odds knocking around already. Chelsea, are they in the mix?
Yeah, you were talking about them. Obviously, I'm listening from minute one. I was trying to work out whether Cundy thought they would actually launch a Premier League title bid. I think you said they might get close, but they won't get over the line.
I don't think we're good enough to win it, but I'd like to think that we can. Jay said, like, Jan Feb, being around the mix, being around, on the coattails, so to speak.
Yeah, I like that. I must say, I know you've already alluded to it, but I agree with Gabby's comments as well. I think they should be thinking about doing that. So they're 12-1, so technically 4th in the betting to win the Premier League. Right. That's where they are with that. Now, in terms of winning a cup, there's certain teams you can actually just to win a trophy. Right. Chelsea aren't one of those. You have to pick a specific trophy for them to win. Right. So that's a good sign for, at least where the book is, where the people in the lab that make up the odds think that Chelsea might be. For example, Manchester United to win a trophy are 7-2. Tottenham to win a trophy are 4-1. So it's more likelihood that Man United are going to win a trophy. You can read into that how you want it as well. Do you know what? I was looking at something earlier that I wanted to get Jamie's comments on it.
Go on,
really.
Come on.
Premier League winner, right? We know that Spurs are Man United. We know they're not going to do it. Okay, so let's not kid ourselves. However, Spurs are 66-1 to win the league, right? And Man United 25-1. So, despite the shape that Manchester United are in, the talkSPORT bet have Man United more likely to win the Premier League.
I mean, regardless, if you put 25-1 on Man United, you put a pound on that, and you put and you put a pound on 66-1, you lose £2.
It's as simple as that.
No, it's as simple as that. It ain't going to happen. So who really cares what them odds are? Because
I think that's based on Manchester United's history.
Yeah, I mean, it's a history bet, right? Because it's Man United. They've got it in the locker to go and sign a world star that might get them over the line potentially, but it ain't happening. It ain't going to happen.
No.
Well, what about if I translate the conversation over to top 4? Man United 7-2, Spurs 5-1. So again, stronger.
Well, Man United are favourites to get top 4 over
Spurs. They are.
I mean, it shows how much you know.
I didn't make them.
What Spurs to
you work for talkSPORT Bet, didn't you?
What Spurs to get relegated? Rhino, what Spurs to get relegated?
Shall I have a look for you?
Well, start asking. Don't look at me like that, Jay. Start asking. He's the man with the odds.
Bottom 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
40-1.
40-1.
And what Chelsea?
40-1.
150-1.
What Man United?
25-1 as it happens. So again,
see, hold on.
So there's much chance of going down.
They've got more chance of getting top 4, but more chance of going down.
Yeah, listen, there's so much behind the way they calculate these odds. Don't get me wrong. We're getting into the nooks and crannies of it now. But in every case, Manchester United are more favourable than Spurs. That's the headline. And by the way, by the transfer window, you can't really knock talkSPORT Bet for knocking up those odds because you guys have done nothing. At least we've got Cunha over the line.
He's having a moan up earlier, Rhino.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I heard.
he's having a moan up. Hasn't even seen him start. He's seen that face many
It's
times
rumbling,
before.
mate. It's rumbling. It's rumbling. But you know
rumbling,
what?
Isn't it?
It's the 8th of July. I'm
Sit tight.
gonna settle in for the long haul of the transfer window with Tottenham. You know, it's a long haul flight, mate. We're going to Australia and back, right, with our transfer window. You know, Chelsea, you know, they're hopping over to Ireland, getting their deals done.
Get it done straight away.
Straight away, bosh, hour.
I know.
You know,
Pedro,
Spurs.
João Pedro. Oh, man, it's so frustrating that Chelsea just go get someone like that and bang, he's scoring braces in the Club World Cup. Where are you? Where are Spurs and United? You know, United need a striker, man. Like, why weren't we in for him? Do you know what?
What do you mean? Well, because Chelsea are basically Hove Albion.
Yeah, they just dive in. Yeah, we've got a nice relationship with them.
£260 million they spent. They've given Brighton.
We could have bought Brighton.
Might have just bought Brighton.
I know. I've got you. So anyway, we've really deviated away from Chelsea there, by the way.
Yeah, it's what it is, isn't it?
So what did you say? We are 14s?
Yes. Yeah. You're looking at it.
What's an each way bet? Where you got to finish each way?
Each way.
It's not horse racing.
You can have an each way bet, can't you?
No, not on that one.
Can you not? You can't have an each way bet on the old football.
What do you mean?
No.
Top two. No,
each way.
Oh no, you can't. You probably can actually. You probably can. Sorry. Yeah, you probably
that's
can.
not each way though, is it?
But,
no.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Right now, I got Scooby.
No, I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you make
me
an each way bet?
Right, let's have a look for you. How much do you want on it?
20 quid each way.
Right, let's have a look. £20 each way. Should we do it?
Go on.
260 return. There you go.
There you go. Sweet, mate.
You having that?
No, it's all right. Keep my money. Just want to see if you can do it. That's all.
Dear. You do all that for nothing.
Cundy, he's doing all right in the old tennis. The old Wimbledon.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
No, he got
a close eye on
retired.
it.
Oh, Sinner was a lucky boy last night, wasn't he?
I know he was.
He
He
was a lucky boy.
Who's
and
the
Sabalenka today, by the way.
By the way, who are the favourites in that? Just before I let you go, because who's still in it? Alcaraz, Djokovic,
Chris.
and Sinner.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we really are pivoting here, by the way. Let's see.
Chop it. Keep running on his toes. Look.
It is my job. Yeah, listen, it is my job. Alcaraz is favourite at 4-6. Djokovic is second favourite at 3-1. Sinner 4-1 third in the betting.
Okay,
how about that?
All right.
You are.
What about the F1 racing? What you got on winning that?
Listen, I don't want to comment on that because I don't like F1. So how about that? There you go.
Hey, honestly, what about the cricket? How's the cricket getting on?
Good.
How is the cricket going on?
Yeah, go on. What's the odds on that? England winning the series.
Winning the series, yeah. You're breaking up there, Jamie.
Rhino, we'll let you go, mate.
Cheers, Rhino.
Cheers, boys.
All right, see you later, Ryan. There, that was your talkSPORT. Was it talkSPORT Bet? Yeah, I was going to say back pages. Yeah, Rhino's getting me all flustered. Right, we're going to see what Premier League Legends is on Manchester United's radar on the back pages. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet today. 18 plus. Begin with dog.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks.
Listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT, me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. We need your help with a midnight triv. Get your calls in now, 03717 22 344. The British and Irish Lions face their toughest test on Australian soil so far tomorrow, and they take on the ACT Brumbies live and exclusively on talkSPORT 2.
We get into the business part of this one, folks.
You got to make the most of every opportunity you have in the jersey.
If we play well, that'll help the team, but the team has to win.
He will offload to Mitchell. They feint right, go left. Alex Mitchell with another feint and scores the try.
This is the tour now, it's not yet to come. This is it now, this is the present.
Jamison Gibson Park picks, goes round the edge, gives to Maro. It's O'Shea who gets over the line.
See great players performing well, and it gives you extra motivation.
Mac Hansen returns it back in field, and Gary Ringrose will score for the Lions. Lovely ball to Jones on his shoulder. Hugh Jones will score.
Games are coming thick and fast. 3 games in 8 days, and it keeps on rolling after that.
Quickly away by Mitchell once again. Morgan Spruan will score.
You have to stay open-minded, otherwise a closed book is not good for anyone.
Hart's got it back and he's barreling his way forward. Up and over the 22. Keeps going. 5 metres out. Can he get the offload away? Yes, he can.
It's a brilliant indication of just how good a talent Henry Pollock is.
It's a fascinating psychological thing about tour life, especially when you've got players from different nations who ultimately all want the same goal, which is to be a test lion. You'll spot the player that is playing for themselves very, very quickly.
Yeah, talkSPORT is the place to be as we bring you live and exclusive commentary of every single Lions game on the tour. Lions coach Johnny Sexton has been speaking ahead of tomorrow's game and had his say on Owen Farrell returning to the squad.
As you'd expect with someone with that experience, he's fitted in. He must have had the playbook on the plane on the way over because he came in and he's not missed a beat. He's been on top of things in training, and that's exactly why he picked someone with experience and knows about a Lions tour, because it might take someone else 10 days to fit in. He's hit the ground running, so it's great to see.
A reminder that the Lions warm-up game is live on talkSPORT tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Now, it's time for this. Jack Cunningham joining us. Hi, Jack.
There he is.
Evening, lads. How you doing?
I'm all right, matey. How are you?
Yeah, well, I've been getting some stick today.
You have, haven't you?
Bed sheets,
well,
but yeah.
Made it on drive, your bed sheets made it on drive, I heard on the way in.
The one drive?
You're on drive. They're talking about your bed sheets on drive time, mate, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, listen, JC, get yourself down to IKEA, son, all right? Just get yourself some plain white or cream bed sheets with a little black throw. Bob's your uncle. Job done, all right?
No, you know what? No, I like them. Sticking with them. I'm
doubling down. You're doubling down on the curves.
Do you know what I want to see? I want to see behind there tomorrow. I want to see a little teddy. Right?
You want to see a teddy?
You want to see a teddy on your left shoulder, right?
Well, look, at point I've got 2 pillows.
I like your style, mate. I like your style. Just absolutely bothered.
Yep.
It's good. It's good. Let's get into some back pages with you, Jay. Vardy on United radar in the Sun.
Yeah. It's so basically Manchester United have been offered the chance to sign Jamie Vardy, Callum Wilson and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I think the view from Manchester United is they will actually look into it at the end of the transfer window if they haven't managed to sign a striker. I mean, what we'll say about Vardy is he actually scored more than Xerxes and Hoyland last season. He got 9 goals. Xerxes and Hoyland didn't get 9 goals.
Jamie Vardy will score goals at Man United.
Yes, he will. Yeah,
he will 100% score gols.
I think he's seriously worth a punt. Seriously worth a punt
for a season.
I know it's something like I know it's in, when you look at their options, right? Their striker options. Genuinely, he would probably start quite a few games because he's a proven Premier League goal scorer. I'd say even with Callum Wilson, look, I mean, I love Wilson. He's just left Newcastle, our third top Premier League goal scorer. But ultimately, look, he didn't score last season at all in the Premier League, not a single goal. But if you keep him fit, Wilson is a guaranteed goals as well. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, maybe less so, but he offers you something different as well in terms of like hold-up play and bringing others into the game. So I don't even think either of any of them would be bad moves. It sounds ridiculous, but I mean, yeah, genuinely.
Listen, Jamie Vardy, you can't get away from the fact he scored a lot of Premier League goals and he's worth a punt. It is a bit embarrassing for Man United right now, the fact that they are looking at these players. Don't get me wrong.
He should be backup, shouldn't he?
Yeah,
he may
Jamie
well
Vardy
turn out
should
to
be.
but
Yeah. He should be a backup player to someone that they bring in. You go, you know what? We want another one, to bring in and we can use him. And Jamie Vardy, I tell you what, I'd have Jamie Vardy at Tottenham come off the bench, make things happen. Might start some games if he scores goals, but to have him and being talked about the fact that they're having to look at him to come in because they can't get a striker, it's embarrassing from Man United.
It is embarrassing, to be fair. Because obviously, it looks like Gyökeres is going to Arsenal. They've been linked with Osimhen, but it seems that Osimhen is going to go to Galatasaray, pretty incredibly. So then they're kind of scrabbling around. Then there's Cesco, I suppose, on the market from Leipzig, but he's about £90 million. That's why Arsenal walked away. Do Manchester United have £90 million to spend on Cesco? I don't think they do, especially when they're still trying to get Brian Mbeumo done. So that's where they're going to end up. It's pretty, as you say, it is embarrassing, but that looks like where they're going to end up.
Also on the back page of The Sun, Rashford at training. This is also by Martin Blackburn, and I can't really read the story, but I'm guessing he's training at United, not on his own.
Yeah, I think this is Marcus Rashford basically training. He's been asked to come in for Manchester United training. He's always been in for Manchester United training. Sorry, I don't know exactly what the situation is around that, but it seems like initially he was given some time off, but it looks like today he did turn up for it. I mean, it is an interesting one again because
that must be
exactly.
Well, he's contracted to the club.
Oh, he is.
He is contracted to the club. Yeah,
I totally agree.
And they have to give him. They have to give him pre-season professionally.
I totally agree.
Both people have to be professional about this.
Yeah,
Rashford's got to go in. Man United have got to get him training. You can't just leave a player to do what he wants. No. Do you know what I mean? And say, oh, that's it. We don't want you here and you can't turn up. That's not an option. You're contracted as a professional football player. You are entitled to professional coaching. So they have to perform that. He can't go and train on his own.
No, he can't.
You're not allowed to do that. No. PFA, that's a big no-no. Like Man United have to give him proper training, proper coaches, and with proper players. You can put him in the reserves. That's fine.
Yeah.
But they have to give him proper coaching. You can't make him train on his own. That's not allowed.
Yeah. So, no, well, exactly. As you say, it's just a really difficult situation. I think they would have all hoped by now we would have found a solution and left, but look, it hasn't happened. The transfer window has realistically only just opened. I think we maybe got a bit confused because of the Club World Cup transfer window and where a lot of deals happened, but actually realistically the transfer window is quite early on. There's still plenty of time for Marcus Rashford to find a new club. But it is just a bit of a sticky situation because it's clear that he doesn't want to be there and Amarin doesn't want him there either. But he's got to turn up, as you said.
Back page of The Sun again. The João factor. He's coming on his full debut, scored 2 goals.
No, 2 brilliant goals as well, to be fair. Like, really good finishes from João Pedro. Thought excellent. I mean, he's a really good player. He is a really good player. He showed it at Brighton. He showed it at Watford. Can link the play really well. Can play as a striker. Can play as a 10. Can play on the wing as well. But he played up front, I think, in the first half for Chelsea. And then I think when Nicholas Jackson came on, he dropped back. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson, I saw, missed a pretty good opportunity where he should have squared it at Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So João Pedro proving there what he can do. Obviously, there was no Liam Delap, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Delap comes in. But that João Pedro goal means that he's essentially paid for himself and Liam Delap, because Chelsea made £80 million now for getting to the final of the Club World Cup, which is quite incredible, really. I thought, to be honest, though, at the start of it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why is Michael Buffer announcing the teams coming on?
So American, that, isn't it?
After spending, after dishing out tickets for $11, by the way. They were dishing out tickets for $11. So the stadium was full, but no one was paying anywhere near what it cost to get Michael Buffer involved. But anyway, fair play. We'll see who Chelsea play in the final.
On the page of the Times, all over in 99 minutes. Cam Norrie up against, one of the best grass court players. His record on grass is phenomenal. And it was on a bit of a hiding to nothing, really, but it's no disgrace going out to Alcaraz.
No, Norrie's got a good record at Wimbledon as well. You know, he's done pretty well in the times he's played there, certainly as one of the Brits since, you know, Andy Murray's done the best. Got the quarter-final. Look, it was really easy in the end. 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. Didn't get close to it. But look, there's no shame in going out to Alcaraz. As you're saying, talking about a player who's lost 3 times on grass.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. 3 times on grass. You know, and now Alcaraz is going to play Taylor Fritz in the semi-final. That should be a really good game because Fritz was... he won the first 2 sets today, Fritz, and then he lost 6-1 in a really weird set, and then he won in the tiebreaker, the 4th set. So he's going to play Alcaraz. And then, of course, Sinner got through by default yesterday. He's actually still struggling with an injury, so we'll see if he can even compete in the semi-final. But it does look like it's going to be 3 titles in a row for Alcaraz. I don't see how anyone can stop him.
He's looking good, the boy, that's for sure. Did they have another mishap today with a malfunction on one of the bases?
Did they?
There was another one, yeah.
Another one, yeah.
Come on, sort it out.
I know, that's on the phone again. The old,
is he, yeah?
On the old phone, the old umpire.
Press the button.
Yeah.
Press the...
I know, that's a shambles.
It is a shambles, mate.
JC, you're a star, mate.
Cheers,
Thank
JC.
you.
No, cheers, right. Catch you later.
All right, those are your back pages. Right, we're going to do the rest of talkSPORT next, and then we're going to do a midnight Trev. Help us out. 03717 22 3344. Yeah, you're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. You need your help with a midnight Trev. 03717 223344. But first, Lib Dem MP Max Wilkinson joined the White and Jordan show earlier and had this say on the proposal that Premier League should have 10 free-to-air games televised per season.
Well, of course, you'd have to look at what happens the next time the contracts are up for negotiation. It's not just the BBC, though, Simon, as you know, that will screen free-to-air football. I remember watching one of the European finals recently, and I didn't have to have a subscription to the channel that I was accessing it through, but it was free to air. There are opportunities here to do it in a different and new and quite innovative way. And I think if you started saying that you're chunking up the packages differently, and let's face it, they already chunk it up into live games on Sky and TNT and then highlights on the BBC, it's just about chunking it up slightly differently. And let's face it, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of games in those packages, and saying that you're stripping out just 10, I don't think would have a massive impact on the economics of football. And as a football fan, the last thing I want to do is put the economics of football at risk.
Do you think you're ever going to see Premier League football free on TV?
I don't know who's going to pay for it then. How does that work? So it's going to cost, right?
I mean, you don't get nothing for free in life. I know that for a fact.
But if BT and Sky...
Apart from hugs.
And kisses?
Yeah.
What do you want in the break? I can kiss in the break. So what you want? But I don't know. I need to know a little bit more about it. In principle, there's no one that's not going to be in favour of it. Everyone's going to say, free-to-air football, love it. But when do they put these games on? What time? Because there's 3 o'clock blackout, right?
Yeah.
So they can't do them. Well, BT have got the 12:30 kickoff. Sky have got the Sunday games. There's always a 5:30. When do they go on? Unless it's midweek. So they put like a little bit like Amazon did. Amazon had a couple of midweek games, didn't they? That package has gone next season for Amazon.
Let me tell you now, it ain't happening. Let's move on. No.
Okay.
It's time for this. It's part of the show. We do the rest of talkSPORT. We go at some of the recent highlight moments from across the station. Let's start with this morning's breakfast show. Jeff Stelling, Dean Saunders. The boys gave their guest, Tony Cascarino, the task of spelling Shabanahan's name.
Hearn? Well, I'll pretty much do that. Shaban. I always... S-H-A-B-B-E-R-N. Oh, it's not, is it with an I? Well, it's O-H-E-R-N, is it?
Oh,
not Hearn as in Barry Hearn.
No.
Barry Hearn.
I mean, I'm not going to ask you about spelling because you're not very good at it.
I can't spell for toffee. T-O-F-F-I-E. T-O... No, I can't spell for toffee.
No, you are bad, aren't you? What was the worst subject at school?
I don't know. I never got my results. I never. What do you
mean?
I don't know what I got. I couldn't tell you what I got. I didn't pick them up.
You didn't go?
I didn't go and pick them up.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't care.
You've done all right, didn't you?
I'm still here, mate.
You're still here. You're still going strong. Don't forget, breakfast returns tomorrow morning from 6 with Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders.
Now, sticking with the Brecky show, they were discussing a new device which warns you about an incoming hangover. What?
I don't see anybody.
I can't see Jeff putting one of those patches
anybody
on.
having a patch on, and it certainly won't be me. You know, I know when I'm going to get a hangover. I know if I've drunk, too much that I'm going to get a hangover. I don't need a patch to tell me. I don't mean a phone to ping. Because it normally means it's the wife saying, "Where are you?
Yes.
Why aren't you home? Why are you still in the bar?"
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, no one needs that in their life.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You know when you've had too much to drink. You know what's coming. Anyone over the age of 30 knows what a double hangover feels like.
What about that feeling? I've not had it for so long where you lie down and the room is spinning.
Oh, mate,
Now
that's the
then you know you're in big trouble.
If that, yeah.
You know
if you lay down on your back and that happens, you know it's game over.
Yeah.
You're in for a long night.
It's a horrible feeling.
How do you get out of that?
Don't drink, mate.
I know.
Drink some water.
That's not the answer, is it?
The lucky Mr. C system when we go out for a night out.
Drink some water in between drinks.
I mean, I have a little sip and then...
Yeah, it's standard procedure.
It is standard procedure, mate.
Do you know what's a good one, which I used to do, but I don't do so much anymore? I used to drink vodka and tonic water.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, vodka and soda?
You're giving yourself a little bit of hydration with the tonic water.
Yeah.
But you're also getting the fun.
The fun as well from the old body. Well, I'm with you on Friday night, mate.
You are with me on Friday night, so we're definitely going to be hungover.
Is there some vodka there? The soda water?
There's definitely going to be a lot knocking around.
Don't forget, Jeff returns the breakfast show next Monday. That's from 6 o'clock.
All right, let's finish by listening to last night's kickoff show. Adi Oladipo, Troy Deeney live from New York. The boys were joined by former Man United striker Kleberson, who spoke about his time at Old Trafford with a certain Wayne Rooney.
That's the thing. I didn't know much about Rooney. As soon as he's getting United, because I tried to get my place on the team. And then I'll play sometimes on the top with me and Ruben Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
And then I start to like that. Okay, it's good. Maybe I can make some goals, make some assistance. And then Ferguson brought like a Wayne Rooney. And then I saw Wayne Rooney, look like that guy is strong. I said, oh, no, I can compete that guy. Let's go. And then we go for the first game against Fenerbahce.
Is that when he scored the hat-trick?
Yeah. He scored 3 goals. After that, I say, done.
Fair play to him.
I mean, it's Wayne Rooney, right?
Yeah, it's Wayne Rooney.
And he
He's a World Cup winner, by the way.
Is he? He is
Leveson won the World Cup.
By the way, that game they're talking about, Wayne Rooney, I think that was his debut.
It was his debut.
It was his
full
debut.
debut. Yeah, I remember he chipped the keeper.
Oh,
everyone remembers that game, didn't they?
League, mate, yeah.
He was, when you look back,
I know,
a sensation.
He was sensational.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've seen anything.
He's the best teenage English teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, you know, we talk about Jude Bellingham who burst on the scene but Rooney for me was just different, wasn't he?
Yes, he
just
was.
Had
mate.
something where you're like, oh my god,
I know,
what am I watching? This
He,
kid's 17.
But the thing I loved about Rooney as well when he was so young, he didn't care. He had no respect.
He literally didn't give a,
he'll go around and boot anyone. Don't care about your reputation. Don't care what you've won.
When he played against Arsenal, I think it was still at Everton, right? When he scored that goal.
Yes, it was.
It was just the way he was. And the way he acted, I was just like, right, this guy's going to be an unbelievable geezer. I mean, he's done all right for himself, hasn't he? Ever pally with a player who played in your position?
I mean, kind of. I mean, yeah.
I mean, your mates with Razor.
Yeah, I had mates with Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid him as much as possible, didn't we, in Portugal?
No, we did not. Razor! Want a beer?
Yeah. Just keep away from him. God, he's the loudest man in the world.
He's a great man.
I love him. He's coming at the weekend as well, so that's going to be interesting. Right. Don't forget, you can download the talkSPORT app where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, all of our other sister stations. You never miss a moment. Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Right, we're going to do a midnight trip. Help us out. 03 717 22 3344.